Guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for choosing my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so that YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone, I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can, and I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started, today's going to be Saturday, March 25th. Getting started, I wanted to say that we are going to be doing a giveaway at 250 subscribers. So if you guys could please share my channel with anyone, whether it's family members or other friends. As soon as we get to 250 subscribers, I'm going to be doing another giveaway. It's going to be a smaller giveaway, but there will be two winners. So we'll run that. Getting started, though, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter video. Not a lot happened. We're going to talk about Janet Yellen and her proposed new taxes from the Biden administration, as well as some stuff that's going on with Ripple. Getting started, the total market cap for all cryptocurrencies right now is $1,150,000,000,000. This is a 0.22% decrease on the day. So overall, we've been up and down in the markets today. So not much movement overall that's happened. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $27,527, Ethereum $1,749, and XRP at 44.88 cents. Getting into our biggest gainers on the day. Flare is going to be our biggest gainer, up 6.1%. We have a few Nexo LRC going to be up 5.1%, and Loon C is going to be up 4.5%, and FTT is going to be up 4.6%. Biggest losers, AGIX and Hex at 5.8%. So overall, not really much movement in the markets. 50% of the coins are probably up, 50% of the coins are probably down, but it's not by much in the market, so there wasn't a lot of price action today. There was no Watcher Guru news today. Getting started, though, Senator John Kennedy comes out in one of the statements yesterday and talks to Janet Yellen about her proposed new taxes from the Biden administration. And he comes out and says, "Isn't it the fact that the president's proposed budget proposes $4.7 trillion in new taxes?" Senator Yellen says, "It does propose significant addition taxes, yes." And then he says 4.7 trillion, and she says, "Yeah, something like that, yes." She's like, "I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm going to release this video in the comments, so anything that I talk about will be in the comments, as well as my Twitter, as well as my TikTok will be in the comments as well. So if you guys could follow those also, I would appreciate that." But $4.7 trillion in new taxes. That's crazy because President Biden came out and said that there was going to be no new taxes on earners under a certain amount of money. Where's this $4.7 trillion in new taxes going to be coming from? Obviously, I do think that it is going to be coming and hitting the middle class as well as lower income. It's not going to be just from the higher income individuals and businesses like they say. So be on the lookout for that. Also, a lot of people who started filing for their taxes. I filed for my taxes already. There's speculation, though. The IRS released a bunch of statements saying that, the tax cuts from the Trump administration were taken out. So a lot of people are going to receive less money in their taxes. Put in the comments if you guys receive less or more from your perspective taxes from the previous years. But they were saying that a lot of taxes were going to be a lot less than previous years. So that's kind of interesting. Again, that's they're coming out and saying that there's 4.7 trillion new taxes, but it's not going to be coming from your average Joes. Janet Yellen had a meeting, and this is a closed door meeting. I talked about this in my video yesterday. These are some of the individuals that were in that meeting. It was closed door, secret meeting. Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell, Michael J., who's the acting computer of currency, Rohit Kompra, director of financial protection bureaus. Gary Gensler was there. It's kind of hilarious that he can make these meetings but can't actually make congressional meetings. And then the list goes on. You guys can keep on going through those. But these are a lot of individuals who have a lot of power in the financial markets. Obviously, they needed to be there for this meeting. But there's speculation on what's going on in the banking institutions right now, with Deutsche Bank right now arguably might go under. We talked about that in the previous video, that the stocks did fall 3% on some information that says that, they might be insolvent. They might not have as much money in actual currency as they say that they do. So people are making bank runs. Right here, I wanted to show right here, this guy says scams are bad. This is Scam Detective 5. He says, you have to ask yourself, why did Ripple pay Masari report to be written? If they are just users of the network like any other participant, just use the network for your Ripple net slash ODL. No need to shill XRP, the network itself, right? Well, let me tell you why. And he comes out and basically blasts Ripple for basically promoting their token and what their business is. He says right here, because their business is selling XRP. 98% of their revenue comes from selling XRP. This is what their main business is, selling the coin. Therefore, they need more people interested in investing in it. This is why they spend on average $100 million on marketing each year. Keeps on going down. They paid MoneyGram $43 million to use XRP. Ripple's XRP isn't making Western Union's payments cheaper, their CEO says. I don't believe that's actually true, but this is just an article. This is just even more, evidence right here from Jed McCaleb. When in courts, this was his testimony. It says, "How does Ripple make money?" And then Jed McCaleb says, I don't know what the current plan is. What is the plan to make money with Ripple? Ripple is similar to Bitcoin. It has an underlying digital currency. So if that currency appreciates in value, then it can sell that. So basically, just selling XRP is their business model. Jeremy Hogan says right here, what other major products are scams? I asked the SEC, but they wouldn't answer, so here I am. So he's just making a joke about this because obviously the SEC hasn't been able to come out and say if XRP is actually considered a security or not. But it's really interesting because I do try to show both sides of this. So I will say that yes, Ripple does promote the XRP token. It has to. It's just like any other small business. You have to promote your product, otherwise nobody's going to buy it. So if you guys go to the store and you guys need to buy a vacuum cleaner, right? You guys see vacuum cleaner ads on the television. Well, those companies actually have to pay for those advertisements on your television. Otherwise, there's no ad revenue that's actually being spent. So then how are people going to know what the vacuum is or what it does? Some are for dog hair, some are for your actual hardwood floors, some are better on carpet. We could say this with cars also. Car companies like Ford, Chevy, and Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's been doing ads recently, but all these car companies say this is why my car is better than the others. They have ads on televisions. Every company does it. So for this guy to come out and say like, "Oh, Ripple's doing ads," that must mean that they're basically their token is a scam and their company's completely irrelevant. Well, no, that's how they get revenue, and then that's how they keep their business afloat. This is with what any business is. So it's really funny that they do this. Ethereum right here is the biggest gaslighting project in history. I'm sorry, but this is just literally idiocracy. No one in their right mind is taking a closer look at Ethereum. Denver will not get you the uneasy feeling. And there is something fishy about all of this. Just look at these guys and their project. They want us to be taken for fools. So I watched this video and it's kind of like, Ethereum, it's in there. It's one of the top coins. It's the second based on market cap right now. I don't own any Ethereum. I don't plan on owning any Ethereum after the whole Ethereum free pass speech and ETHgate. What's going on with that? I'm going to steer clear of this project. But I will say that there is value with Ethereum. I do see that there is a bright side. But it was kind of funny that these people are developing a project. Basically, if it looks right here, in a galaxy under attack in the future, basically this gets a Star Wars vibe. So they're basically copying exactly what Star Wars is and saying what you guys can do in this specific land. In my opinion, you have to actually vet your guys' project. So if you guys do invest in the Ethereum token, obviously make sure that one, you want to invest in strictly Ethereum, and if you guys invest in any other tokens on the Ethereum network, that you guys actually look into the projects. Don't believe the people who just come on, especially like me too. I talk about certain cryptocurrencies that I specifically like. XRP is one. I'm not telling you guys to go out and buy XRP. You guys need to do your guys' own independent research, and you guys are the ones that are actually going and adding your guys' bank accounts or credit cards, debit cards, however you guys purchase, and you guys are the ones clicking buy or sell. I don't do that. I just promote what's out there, exactly what's going on. I wouldn't say promote. I would just let you guys know the news. I highlight more cryptocurrencies than others. XRP is going to be obviously one of those because I do see the best future in XRP. If you guys don't like that, probably go find another channel. It's totally fine with me. But other projects go on Ethereum. So there's other tokens that are on the Ethereum network. If you guys want to buy those tokens, obviously vet those projects. This one, in my opinion, again, no financial advice, I would avoid. why they might actually get a lawsuit from Lucasfilms or Disney, because Disney owns the rights to Star Wars, because this is basically just copying what Star Wars is for their currency project. Right here, this was really interesting. Telegram users can now send each other Tether's USDT directly with chats in the message app. So, for those of you guys that don't know, USDT is the it's basically the digital dollar of the Tether network, like USDC is. It's their stable coin. You can now send that message or send that currency over in the app. This just shows that you can use financial markets inside technology. In this messaging app, it's a lot easier. It's just tokenizing assets. We see this in other things. You guys can send money via Venmo, PayPal, other forms like that. This is just another way of sending money. In my opinion, I do like this. I'm not a huge fan of Tether, but that's one that you guys can do. This one was really interesting. There's a lot coming out from John Deaton. I was actually in a chat that he was actually speaking in today. Sorry, I don't know. I think that froze. So I'll say that again. So I was in a chat with John Deaton today. So he has a lot of information that he was talking about, and he posted a lot on his Twitter. So we're going to talk about that. So Bitcoin Archive says the Fed rejected Custodia's bank's request to join the Fed system because of their focus on Bitcoin. John Deaton says the leadership in DC is a real threat to America. The Fed's reasoning for a denial of custodia is over illicit activity via Bitcoin and crypto. Yet the major investigative agencies in the U.S. or the FBI and the CIA have stated that it is easier to track and catch criminals who do so. So, obviously, using digital assets, I can send messages, I can send payments, I can do all of this using my cryptocurrency. As I do that, it's all can be tracked on the digital network, on the blockchain. So it's easier to track according to the FBI and the CIA. So if somebody's doing something illegal and they did this with the Silk Road, they were able to track and figure out who was buying and selling and doing illicit activity. Now they're trying to get rid of this. Well, they're saying that banks right now are shutting down because of cryptocurrency was completely a lie, in my opinion. Banks are being shut down right now and they're becoming insolvent. And that is because the leadership of the managements of those banks. Like I said, with Silicon Valley Bank, you had the CEO, CFO, and the CMO all sell $4.4 million combined worth of stocks 12 days prior to the bank going under. And then 2 hours before the Fed seized the bank, they paid a bunch of money to their executives. They paid them bonuses for their yearly bonus. In my opinion, that's completely, they knew exactly what was going on. They knew the Fed was going to take over, yet they pay these massive bonuses. So it says right here that they're saying offering products and services related to crypto asset sector. So basically, they don't want to promote cryptocurrency. They want cryptocurrency to shut down. In my opinion, the government should be the one that does this. This should be Congress that actually sets these laws in motion, and especially not having the SEC or our federal government come in, our executive branch coming in and overreaching their powers. This needs to be made by Congress. And again, the SEC is obviously at a grass overreach of power with the Ripple versus the SEC lawsuit. The Voyager lawsuit. There's a bunch of others. They just sent a Wells notice to Coinbase with the stipulation that they're probably going to sue Coinbase. So that's really interesting. Right here, Bitcoin Archive also says that Germany's DWP Bank to offer Bitcoin trading to 1,200 affiliate banks on new platform via Cointelegram. This is huge. And I agree. John Deaton says on behalf of his incumbent masters, Gary Gensler will crush crypto as much as possible. Coinbase isn't the only exchange to get a Wells notice, I guarantee it. Banks will start announcing news like this, just like the NASDAQ will have custody of Bitcoin by the end of June per Bloomberg. And this is really interesting because there's a lot of news that's coming out right now that Gary Gensler is actually meeting with financial heads of other countries, speculating and trying to convince them to have a stricter rule on crypto assets. So right now, when I was in this meeting with John Deaton in the Twitter space, I wasn't a speaker or anything. I was just listening. I could have joined in, but I didn't really want to because John Deaton was having a lot of discussions. But he comes out and basically says that because Coinbase is a publicly traded company, Coinbase had to come out and say that they got a Wells notice. Other companies probably have this. He speculated this that other companies, or maybe it was Frederick Boley that came out and said this, but other countries or other sorry, not other countries, but other companies probably got a Wells notice from the SEC. They're just not saying it to the people who actually own cryptocurrencies. Other platforms, they said like Binance.us might have actually received a Wells notice also, but they're not saying it. But because Coinbase is a publicly traded company, legally by law, they had to come out and say that. So, do you see more companies getting Wells notices from the SEC or just a straight lawsuit? Right here, the US president should be able to ban TikTok in the name of national security without a 55-page law that broadens the power of the executive branch and purports to cover all kinds of transactions, including cryptography and payments. No legislation is going to be needed. John Dean says, pay attention. So, in this bill right here, according to this guy, here comes right here certain transactions between persons in the United States. Transactions is highlighted, transactions and transactions down here is highlighted. So basically, the executive branch wants to broaden the reach of power. In my opinion, this needs to stay with Congress. If the president really wanted to ban TikTok, he technically can, according to Matthew Siegel. In my opinion, I think that TikTok is very beneficial for certain individuals. Could it have a stipulation that it is a national security risk? For the average person, probably not, but for the majority of people who are in the federal government and stuff like that, obviously, TikTok should not be downloaded on their phones, whether it's personal or especially if it is a business phone related to government use. Obviously, you should not be downloading any apps, whether that's even Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. All of those should stay off government phones to begin with. Ben Armstrong comes out right here and says, I don't understand why Uncle Brian, and I'm assuming he means Brian Armstrong, which is the CEO of Coinbase, to advocate for a positive crypto regulation, yet sits high in his lofty perch and does nothing to help the average person. Problem is, Brian does not represent the people, he represents the industry. He can change, though. And he wants basically Brian Armstrong to come out and give us a better outlook on cryptocurrency and actually help the average people. Frederick Rapoli right here comes out. This is the guy that I was talking about. Could have also said what I was talking about earlier about other companies getting the Wells notice. He says, supporting BitBoy Crypto's statement, we're suing Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, and Coinbase for literally stealing the SGB and Flare airdrops promised its customers. So Songbird and Flare tokens that its customers were supposed to get. Guy wants to fight the lawsuit rather than just give his own customers their property back. So, like me, I had XRP on Coinbase before the whole lawsuit came out with Ripple versus the SEC. That's where I first got my XRP tokens. But there's a lot of institutions and stuff like that that promised an airdrop. Coinbase was one of them. And we, depending on how many XRP tokens you were supposed to receive, Flare tokens. I don't know about Songbird off the top of my head, but I was supposed to receive Flare tokens in an airdrop. Coinbase was supposed to send me those Flare tokens. They never did. They're holding on to those. So Fred Rispoli right here is going to be suing them. His whole practices right now is suing Coinbase in perpetuity to get those crypto assets back. Those were what we were supposed to receive. What is Coinbase doing with those? There's speculation. I'm not going to get into that though. And he also spoke in that Twitter space also and talked about what his company's been doing. Ben Armstrong, a lot of people don't really like BitBoy Crypto. He comes out and says a lot of things that people don't really like. He goes on tangents sometimes, and sometimes he goes a little overboard. I'm undecided. I like him, and I've liked him to start with, but there are some things that he said that I'm like, I don't know. But that's with what anybody says. There's probably some things that I've said on my channel that you guys aren't 100%. Hey, I liked what he said. Maybe he should hold that back. To be honest, everyone does that. So I'm undecided right now. I think he's done a lot of positives for the crypto community. But only time's going to tell what his true intentions are. But that's with anybody. Right here, John Deaton comes out and talks to on-demand liquidity XRP from XRP News. 755 million in 4 seconds. While the cryptocurrency community may have its doubts over Ripple's XRP currency, banks seem to be enjoying its perks. As reported, 755 worth of XRP was transmitted in 4 seconds and only cost 1 penny. So that's crazy. There's a lot of money that can be sent to and from, and it only costs a penny to do it. I've sent XRP to friends. I'm not going to say how much money I've sent, but I've sent quite a bit of money to friends here and there every once in a while, or just exchanging it from my exchange to my cold storage wallet. and it literally costs like 0.0001 XRP, which is a fraction of a penny. So it's kind of true that these transactions actually happen. So he comes out and says that, imagine going to banks like MoneyGram and Western Union saying, I know that you guys are charged 9 to 15% for people to send money internationally. We can do that for less than a penny. Use our tech or miss out on the high fraction fees that you guys are used to. So this is really interesting because this shows that there is actually utility in Ripple and the XRP token. So the people that have doubts about the XRP token, obviously you guys need to do your guys' own independent research on it a little bit more. I can talk about it all day, but until you guys actually do your guys' own research, do not buy into any cryptocurrency, and don't trust what anyone says. Actually do your guys' own research. This is the last thing that we're going to show right here. Zach Rector says David makes life fun. He comes out and says, here's an example of things that I should never, ever tweet. And it says right here, $589,000. This was, I believe, at a Golden State Warriors. And then he comes out and says, sorry, but this just had to happen. He comes out and just makes a little joke about this because there's speculation that $589 is what the XRP price is going to be. My personal opinion, I don't really see $589 or $589,000, but that's just a speculation. It could happen. I would love for it to happen. I would love to be wrong about it. I have my expectations for what the XRP price can go to. I don't think it's quite $589, but that's just a speculation because other people have thrown out even more money, 10,000, 20, 100,000, or even $1 million per token. The price is endless. For expectations or predictions of what people think, you guys again need to do your own independent analysis on what you guys think each token can go to, whether it's XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, HBAR, XLM, other tokens. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you guys for your guys' time. If you guys can't invest with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.